The National Broadcasting Company invites you by transcription to join The Chase. There is always the hunter and the hunted, the pursuer and the pursued. It may be the voice of authority, or a race with death and destruction, the most relentless of the hunters. There are times when laughter is heard as counterpoint, and moments when sheer terror is the theme. But always there is the chase. And the chase becomes a terror-ridden nightmare when the pursuer is circumstantial evidence.
Yes, sir?
Oh, Wilton's the name, Edward Wilton. I've got a reservation.
Oh, yes, Mr. Wilton. Single room and bath. Rates $4.50. Sign here.
$4.50? You boys seem to have a Ritz complex.
Palace Hotel may not be as big as the Ritz, but it's the biggest and best in Webb City, Mr. Wilton, and we don't mind letting foreigners know it.
Foreigners? 200 miles from Chicago and you're out of the country, huh?
Do you want the room or don't you?
Oh, of course I want it. Don't get sore. Just pulling your leg a little. Let's have that pen, huh? There you are, my friend. Edward Wilton, Esquire, Middle Western Sales Representative for Ideal Air Conditioning Incorporated, the air conditioning of the future.
Is that what you sell, young man?
What else do you think would bring me to a burg like this?
What's that?
I said I never saw a town like this. Yes, I'll bet a lonesome young guy might have a little fun if he knew the right people.
Nothing much doing in Webb City at this hour, especially on a Tuesday night.
Well, how about the hotel? You got a bar here?
Nope.
What does a man do to get himself a beer, for instance?
Well, there's Biff's place just down the street to the right. If it's a drink you're hankering for, he's got it, although you might not like the crowd.
Oh, why not?
Well, they're kind of jivey, so to speak. Most of them are mill hands and their girlfriends, and they keep the jukebox going till way after midnight.
My, you don't say.
Are you trying to kid me, young fella?
Wouldn't think of it for the world.
If there's anything I hate, it's fresh salesmen. You fellas think you own the world.
No offense.
What's that you got hanging on your wrist?
Oh, this? That's an identification bracelet.
Looks sissified to me.
Oh, no. Lots of people wear them these days. Sophisticated people, that is.
Like you, I suppose.
You know, you're not very polite to the customers. Better not let the boss catch you talking to his favorite clients that way. He might can you.
That's so?
Yes, I happen to know him personally.
Well, I happen to be the boss, mister, and chief desk clerk. The name is Grimes.
Uh-oh. That's one for the house.
We serve breakfast from 7 to 8:30. Get down late and eat in the diner across the street, and no smoking in bed. Good night, Mr. Wilton.
Good night. Cheerful. Yeah, I was in quite a mood that evening, but what can you do? The road gets lonesome after a while when you're footloose and fancy-free, and even kidding a hotel clerk is a way to pass the time in a town like Webb City. I went up to my 2x4 bedroom and stared at the walls for a while, and then I washed and went back outside. The evening was warm and the streets were quiet, and as I strolled along, that lonesome feeling got even stronger. So I decided to step into the beer joint Grimes had mentioned, Biff's place. There were only half a dozen people inside, and the jukebox was running overtime. Most of them seemed to be mill workers having a nightcap before ambling home. It wasn't till I picked myself a booth and ordered a scotch on the rocks that I noticed the red-headed girl. Or rather, I heard her laugh. She was pretty cute as small-town cuties go, and she was dancing with a guy in a tight-fitting suit and slicked-down hair. I watched her as I finished my drink, and I ordered another. And I kept on watching until I downed 2 more. And she looked my way. There was something in her eyes, the way she smiled for a moment, that attracted me. And with the music and the drinks, well, I must have got a little tight. Because I found myself getting out of my chair and breaking in on the two of them. May I have this dance?
Hey, what's the big idea?
I asked the lady if I could have this dance.
You can also have a sock in the puss if you want one, wise guy.
Oh, act your age, Carl.
Huh?
This is 1953. All he did was ask me for a dance. Don't look like you've been insulted.
What kind of talk is that from you, Hazel?
Here we go again.
Look, if he wants to rave, let him rave, beautiful. Meanwhile, let's you and me dance, Hazel.
Why, you...
Carl! I wouldn't if I were you. First of all, I've got at least 2 inches and 15 pounds on you, and I used to fight semi-pro.
You gonna tell this jerk to get out of here, or do I go, Hazel?
I think your last suggestion's the best, honey.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the two of you can drop dead.
My, got a temper, hasn't he?
Oh, he's just a small-town boy with a mind to match.
Well, shall we dance?
That's why you joined the party, wasn't it?
Check.
Music's nice.
So are you.
Little city boy trying out his line.
I'm a salesman. Can't blame me for trying to make a pitch.
You'd be surprised what sales resistance I've got.
You'd be surprised how I can sell.
What's your name, Curly?
Wilton. Eddie Wilton.
Mine's Hazel.
Yeah, so I heard. How about a drink after this dance? Well, it lasted until 1 a.m. Then someone suggested a ride. We walked back to where my open convertible was parked and started off. I should have known better than to drive on liquor, but there was something about the evening and the girl that made everything all right. Well, where are we going?
You got any ideas?
There's a moon out, the road's empty, so let's just travel for a while. Huh?
Suits me fine. Are you married?
This is a fine time to ask.
Just answer the question, Junior.
I am as free as the breeze. You too?
Mm-hmm.
Who was that square you were dancing with before I broke in?
Carl Bleeker? He's just a dumb town kid. He gives me a pain.
Why go out with him?
There isn't much of a choice in Webb City.
You're a good-looking number. Did you ever think of trying your luck in one of the bigger towns like Chi? You might get something in show business.
Stop handing me that moolah. Give me a cigarette.
It's in my left-hand pocket. Yeah, you'll find matches there, too.
What's that on your wrist, Eddie?
It's an identification tag.
Last time I saw one of those things was on a GI.
That's where I got the habit.
It's cute. Let me have it.
For keeps?
Well, it isn't worth much, is it?
Well, no.
Well, then
but
don't be a cheapskate and hand it over. We'll probably never see each other again, and I'd like a keepsake.
Well, it's yours, baby. Here, unhook it.
Thanks.
Huh?
What's the matter?
I don't know. Something wrong with the motor.
You're not going to pull that old gag on me. I thought you weren't small town.
No, on the level. It's not a gag. She's conked out. Holy smoke, I'm out of gas.
How convenient. You picked a nice place to park, too. Right under a stone quarry.
Okay, baby, if you think I'm that crude, excuse me.
Where are you going?
We passed a gas station a mile or so back. I'll get some more fuel.
You mean you really are out of gas?
While I'm gone, you can figure that one out for yourself. She got me sore, putting me in the same dumb class with her small-town boyfriends. And it didn't improve my disposition any to find the gas station closed for the night. By the time I got back to the car, it was almost 3 in the morning. And as I neared the open car, I could see Hazel slumped in the front seat, fast asleep. Hazel, no dice. The station's closed. Come on. Wake up, baby. We'll have to walk. Hazel, Hazel, wake up. But she wouldn't wake up. Not in this world, anyway. Because Hazel was lying dead on the front seat of my car with her skull cracked open. It was one of those accidents that can happen once in a million. I'd parked near a stone quarry in an open car, and while I was gone, a rock had come loose, maybe 50 feet above her, and caught her square on the head. For a minute, I almost got sick. Then I pulled myself together. I had to get help, and a car rolled up as I staggered back to the highway, waving like crazy. Stop! Stop, will you?
What's the trouble, Bud?
There's been an accident.
Where?
Over there in my car.
Get into a crack up?
No, nothing like that. A girl, she... Hey, pretty bad, huh?
Pretty bad. She's dead.
Yeah, I thought so.
How'd it happen?
A rock. It must have fallen from that stone quarry.
A rock from that quarry? Well, that hill's as smooth as the glass up there.
I don't care how smooth it is. That's what happened. What are you looking at me that way for?
What way, mister?
Hey, where are you going? Wait a minute. Come back here. Don't leave me like this. Come back. I stood there for a minute as he roared away, trying to figure it out. And then it hit me. He thought I'd killed her. He thought I was a murderer. It was all wrong. She was hit by a falling stone. And then suddenly, I remembered to look for the stone. I ran back to the car and scrambled around. I had to have that rock to prove it was an accident. And then, just as I saw it near the left front fender and picked it up in my hand, another car rolled up. Hey, mister! Mister!
Don't move, wise guy.
Bleeker.
Stay put or I'll blast you with a shotgun.
Oh, put that cannon down, you idiot.
Shut up. Hazel, get out. She's dead.
I know she is.
You killed her.
You're out of your mind.
You brained her with that rock you're holding in your hand.
Oh, stop talking like that. It was an accident, Bleeker. This rock came from the quarry wall above her head. She was waiting here for me when
I knew my hunch was a good one. That's why I decided to follow you out. You dirty murdering bum. We'll hang you for this.
Bleeker, you're off your beam.
Shut up.
I tell you, she...
Shut your lying dirty mouth before I plug you here and now.
All right, so you think I killed her. We'll leave it up to the cops.
Sure. We'll leave it up to the cops. And if the cops can't handle it our way, maybe I'll get a couple of the boys together for a little stringing bee. Come on, get into my car.
Just take it easy, Carl.
Get in and shut it for a trap. You'll drive, I'll sit behind. And one false move, wise guy, gets you a head full of lead pellets.
I didn't argue with him. He looked crazy mad to me, and besides, I knew when I gave the police the facts, they'd... Yeah, but how was I sure? 2 guys in a row took it for granted that I'd killed her. Why should the cops think otherwise?
You look nervous, wise guy.
All right, if it makes you happy, I look nervous.
And I don't blame you.
No?
First-degree murder gets the chair in this state.
I'm not getting any chair.
No?
No.
You won't get any asbestos either to keep that hot seat cool.
You'd like to see me get it, wouldn't you?
I not only like it, I got a stake in it.
Yeah?
I'm gonna help put you there.
That's interesting. How?
I practically saw you kill her, didn't I?
You practically saw me what?
Sick you're driving, wise guy. I'll do the yelling from now on. You were standing there, weren't you, with the rock in your hand?
I just found that stone when you drove up.
Sure.
What are you trying to do? Frame me on a murder rap?
Frame you? You don't have to be framed, wise guy. You set it up for yourself.
I'm telling you for the last time it was an accident.
When they put you in the chair, you can also tell that to the guy who throws the switch.
Suddenly, I got panicky. I didn't want this moron driving me into the police as if he'd caught me red-handed. I wanted to tell them my story in my own way, a voluntary statement, not a forced confession. I had to get away from Bleeker before we reached town, and there was only one way to do it.
Turn left, wise guy. It's a shorter route to town.
Whatever you say.
Now you're getting smart. Don't give me any lip, and maybe you'll reach the police chief all in one piece.
Got a cigarette on you?
Since when am I supplying you with smokes?
All right. I'll take one of my own if you let me stop the car and reach into my pocket.
You're stopping no car, wise guy. Here. I'll be sporty and give you one of mine.
Thanks.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Got a match?
Want me to smoke it for you, too? Here.
Now let go of the gun, Bleecker.
You joke me.
Let go of the gun.
The road! You're driving out the...
As I lost control of the wheel, the car had swung left and hit a soft shoulder. I'd felt a sickening lurch as it had rocked back and forth and then had completely turned over. For a second, I was stunned, and then I slowly crawled out of the side. It was a miracle as far as I was concerned because I didn't have a scratch, and then I remembered Bleecker. Frantically, I started to pull the twisted metal apart, and there he was, lying across the seat, dead with a broken neck. That made two dead. Two people I hadn't even known before that night. How could I explain it? What could I say to defend myself?
You all right?
Yes, officer, I'm okay.
What happened?
We hit a soft shoulder and turned over.
We?
There's another fella in the wreckage. I think he's dead.
Stay put. Yeah, he's dead, all right. What's your name?
Edward Wilton.
Where do you live?
I'm at the Palace Hotel in Webb City. I'm a salesman from out of town.
What's the name of the deceased?
Carl Bleecker. He lives in Webb City.
And who was driving?
He was. Don't ask me why I lied. I don't know myself. I only know that I was scared, and I acted instinctively to protect myself. Next thing I knew, I was inside the prowl car, and we were on our way, but not towards town. For some reason, we were headed back towards my car and Hazel's body. Aren't we going back to town?
Sure.
Well, this isn't the right direction.
Coroner lives up this way. I want to notify him before I book you.
Before you book me.
Don't get nervous. It's just a technicality. If you weren't driving, we won't place a charge against you.
But I told you I wasn't driving.
Okay. I didn't call you a liar, did I?
I'm sorry. The accident rocked me a little. I'm all nerves.
Sure. Now, just take it easy. What's that ahead of us? On the side of the road?
I don't see anything.
Looks like a parked convertible. Funny time of night to be parked out near that old quarry. I think I'll have a look. You can stay here if you like.
Well, I just want a breath of air.
Holy smoke.
What is it?
It's a girl. Looks as though she's been slugged.
Is she dead?
Just as dead as your friend was. This is getting to be quite a night. This kid was murdered.
Murdered? No.
She certainly didn't conk herself on the head. You drove past here before your accident. Did you notice this car?
No.
Are you sure?
Positive, officer.
Funny. I'd say she'd been dead at least 2 hours. The engine hood is cold. Car must have been parked here for a while. Let's have a look at the license plate.
I think I'll wait for you back in the prowl car. As I got back inside the prowl car, I watched him take down my license number. Then he walked around to the front seat again and looked at Hazel once more. I saw him reach over and lift her arm, unfold her fingers, and take something out of her palm, something that glinted in the glare of his flashlight as he carefully examined it. Then I remembered what it was, my identification bracelet with my name engraved on the plate.
Hey, you!
I must have been insane to steal his car, but I couldn't control myself anymore. Everything seemed to be building up against me. I was being strangled with circumstantial evidence, so I just obeyed my instincts and ran for it. I didn't know where I was going. I just followed the road as it twisted and turned with my hands gripping the wheel so hard my fingers ached. Was it an hour or 2 hours? I don't know. I kept on driving, trying to escape. And then with one of those ridiculous impulses a raving maniac might get, I turned on the shortwave radio in the prowl car I'd stolen.
Attention all cars. This is Chief Dundee once more. I repeat the description of the man we want. Name, Edward Wilton. Age, about 32. Height, approximately 5'11". Weight, about 185. Wanted for murder and suspicion of manslaughter. Driving stolen squad car. License number 17113. He may be armed. If he offers resistance, shoot to kill.
Yes, what can I...
You? Yes, it's me, Mr. Grimes. Don't move. Just first listen to what I have to say.
Well?
I've been up all night, Grimes.
Have you?
I've been driving around like a man who's been doped. They're after me.
I know they're after you.
They want me for murder.
I know that, too.
Do you know why I came back?
Why?
Because I don't believe they'll do it.
You don't believe they'll do what?
Convict an innocent man.
Of course they won't. All you got to do is give yourself up, son. You'll get a fair shake.
Do you think I'm a murderer, too?
No.
The evidence is bad, I know, but you can see it was an accident. You've got to see it. And the others, too. You don't know what it's like, running away from something like this. All night I drove, thinking they'd shoot me down on sight. But I couldn't stand it any longer. I had to give myself up. I couldn't live like that for another day.
Want me to call Chief Dundee?
Yes. Just tell him I'm at the Palace Hotel. I was beaten, and I knew it. But then I thought if I could just give them my story. Grimes seemed to feel that I wasn't guilty. That's how he acted, until 10 minutes later when the chief of police walked in.
Here he is. Here's the thief and murderer.
Now, wait a minute.
Keep your hands where I can see you.
Handcuffs?
What'd you think you'd get? Medal? I knew he was a killer when he checked in here, Chief. He had that look in his eye. And then when he started asking me about girls.
No, I didn't say a word about girls to you, Grimes. I just asked you where I could get myself a drink.
Drinking, too, eh?
I just had a couple. I mean...
Why did you kill her?
I didn't kill her, Chief.
No? Then who did?
It was an accident. A rock fell down from the quarry wall.
And what about Carl Baker? Did a rock fall on him, too?
That's enough, Mr. Grimes. I'll handle this myself.
You'd better, or the town will handle it for you.
I don't like that kind of talk from you or anyone else, Grimes. As long as I'm police chief here, the law takes its own course. If I make myself clear...
Just as long as this double murderer gets what he's looking for.
All right, Wilton, let's get started.
What does he mean? The town will handle it for you.
Nothing. Let's go.
But I was going to find out later just what Grimes meant. After they had me down at headquarters, they questioned me, and I gave them all the answers I knew, but somehow nothing seemed to satisfy them.
All right, Wilton, we'll start all over again. What did you do when you stopped the car?
Nothing, I tell you.
Was she trying to get out when you hit her with a rock?
I didn't hit her. I swear I didn't.
What about Bleecker? They found a shotgun near his body. He had you under arrest when you slugged him, didn't he?
I didn't slug him. He had a gun, yes, and he scared me. I tried to wrestle the gun out of his hands when the car went wild.
He had the gun in his hands, driving at the same time?
He wasn't driving.
That isn't what you told the man in the squad car, Wilton.
I swear it's the truth. No, leave me alone. At last, they gave me a chance to sleep. They put me in a cell, and I dropped like a dead man for over 10 hours. When I woke up, it was dark again, and there was an ominous rumble coming from somewhere outside the jail. Chief! Here, let me speak to the chief!
Feeling stronger, Wilton?
Oh, yeah, sure. What's the noise out there?
Never mind. As long as you're in my custody, they'll never get you.
Who's they?
I guess I better tip you off, just in case things get really rough. That crowd out there is in a nasty mood. They're liable to do anything.
Like come in here after me?
I've got 5 men inside, Wilton, and that mob will have to come in shooting if they figure to take you away.
Well, what about me, Chief? I've got a right to defend myself, haven't I? And I can handle a gun.
Well, I'll bet you can. You'll stay right here, Wilton. We don't give firearms to confessed murderers.
Confessed murderers? I never confessed.
No? You didn't know it, but you spilled the works last night while you was asleep.
I what?
We had a stenographer and 2 witnesses, Wilton.
What did I say?
You killed the girl in cold blood, that's what you said, and you finished Bleecker, too.
Oh, no, that doesn't make sense. I couldn't have said that.
But you did. You're virtually convicted of murder in the 1st degree right now. Sounds like that mob's coming up here to the jailhouse.
Chief, it's a wild bunch out there, and they're talking lynch.
How many do you think there are?
Must be 500 easy.
Maybe we better call the governor for the National Guard.
Too late now, Chief. They're starting to break down the door.
Come on. I'll see if I can make a last-ditch plea and stop them.
But the last-ditch plea didn't help. And then when I heard the door come down, I knew I was through. They're tearing through the front of the building now, and they'll be pouring into this cell block in just a second. They're coming. They're almost here. No, they can't do that to me. Don't let them find me. Don't tell them where I am. I didn't do it, I tell you. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. Oh, no. I'm innocent. I didn't do it, I tell you. Don't let them find me.
Hey, Mister, wake up.
No, don't let them.
Wake up. Wake up, you're having a nightmare.
Nightmare? You mean this is all a dream?
Judging by those empty glasses on the table, you had one too many.
You're not dead. Neither is Carl. And I'm not in jail, and there's no lynch mob or confession, is there?
Lynch mob?
What's going on here? This wise guy trying to get fresh?
Oh, no, not at all. I don't want to dance, and I don't want to take your girl away. I just want to go home, see? Back to my hotel. Yes, sir, right now.
In the animal world, there is the hunter and the hunted, hound and fox, hawk and sparrow, chicken and worm. But who is to judge precisely which is the pursuer or the pursued as we enter the chase? The Chase was created and written for the National Broadcasting Company by Lawrence Clee. Heard in the cast were Don Briggs, Jane Webb, Ted Osborne, Ken Williams, and Joe Latham. The Chase is directed and transcribed by Fred Way. Fred Collins speaking. Two weeks from today, a hard-working accountant begins a game of pressure against his employers as he tries for success in the chase.
This afternoon, it's Adventure with Counter Spy on NBC.